For me, I just knew that I was like different and I had drive and I was competitive and I just knew I wanted to be a professional dancer. I get to know who I am and I get comfortable with them. It's easier for me to talk about my life and my feelings and my hard times and my good times even. Like I'm working on opepening up. I just stuck with the group I met when I first came out here, when I had like less than 1 million followers, because it's like those people aren't gonna use you, because I've known them for 5 years. They knew me. They were my best friends when I was like nothing. I can't hide anything from my fans. They'll either find out or be mad at me, and it's like I inspire people to be themselves, and if I'm hiding things and not being myself, then that's fake. You gotta tell people who you love when you love them, and you gotta be nice to them when you see them. You have to appreciate them, respect them. They've gone through a lot for you.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel. Today I'm here with Jordyn Jones.
Hi guys.
So you're born in Kalamazoo, or how do you say it?
Yes, Kalamazoo, Michigan, on the farm.
Are your parents born there as well?
Yes, very, very small town. Both of them are from Michigan, and I think my daddy built the house.
Wow.
And yeah, he's been living there since I think he was 13, 14.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a farm, right? Or how do you describe it?
Yeah, it's a farm. It was about 900 acres, so a lot of space. And before I was born, they did like pigs and cows and chickens and stuff like that. But then when they had the kids, then they just stopped all that for us.
So your parents were doing that full time, like working on the farm?
Yes. Oh my gosh, LA guys. Yeah, they were doing all that, and then when we were born, she like was working at a dance studio, and my dad was just a farmer.
And what was it like for the music scene for you? Like, how were you finding music? Were your parents just playing radio stuff, or?
Yeah, I wasn't even like really listening to music back then. I think it was more just dance. Like, dance was my life back then. And when I would listen to music, I think it would just be in movies or at dance class. You know, every dance class has songs, and I would always be listening to songs then, but I would never like listen to the radio or anything really.
What kind of music were your parents playing around the house?
Well, my mom really likes country music, like George Strait, and my dad likes Garth Brooks, people like that, but mainly I just went, you know, I don't know, I was just away from all that and listening to pop music at dance.
And one of your first like musical artists that you looked up to was Katy Perry, right? Like,
yeah, Katy Perry and Zendaya. When Shake It Up came out, I was always watching that show, dancing and singing. That's really when I started to get more into singing, was because of that show.
Do you remember how you first found Iggy Azalea?
I think it was just from her song Fancy.
Yeah.
But as soon as I heard it, I wanted to cover it, so I covered it. And then she saw it, and she knew, she still knows who I am, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How old are you when you were listening to Frozen? Because you remember, like, you memorized all the lyrics.
I think I was, it was whenever it came out. Like, whenever it came out, I was memorizing all the lyrics, performing for my family and my friends. Like, that's what our friends would do on sleepovers, was just literally watch Frozen and then sing all the songs. And even before then I was singing too, but just I fell in love with it around that time of my life.
Did you take singing lessons back then?
So then I didn't. I started taking singing lessons in 2011 or 12, around there, and it was like every other day or every day back then. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I want to be a singer. And then I kind of stopped dancing a little bit more and just started singing, like, mainly.
Did it click to you earlier on that you wanted to be both? Like, you didn't just want to be a dancer, you wanted to be able to sing and dance and everything? I
kind of knew my whole life that I wanted to be a singer, but it was never like, okay, I'm going to start singing and I'm going to go to vocal lessons. It was just like a dream of mine. I never thought that I would actually do it and pursue it.
Where do you think you got the sense of passion from, or like that you're able, because even like in Kalamazoo in Michigan, were there a lot of people who were like making it out of there and like able to achieve their dreams?
Well, I mean, anyone can, but it wasn't like people were.
Yeah.
It was just like people went to school and then college, and that was it. Like, that was what all my friends' plans were. They wanted to go to college, but for me, I just knew that I was like different, and I had drive, and I was competitive, and I just knew I wanted to be a professional dancer. That's why I wanted to come out to LA, and I was just different from everybody else. I didn't really want to be normal.
Where do you think you got your creative side from?
I don't know. It's kind of just like I don't know. Maybe just like my sarcastic, like funny self kind of makes me creative. But I don't even think I'm that creative, but it's like it just comes to me whenever I was in Urban Outfitters the other day, and I was like writing down a song lyric that I thought of, and I was like, I am creative, look at me.
Can you describe your parents' personalities and who are you more similar to?
See, I get a little bit of both. My dad is way more mellow than my mom and more chill, so I am that side of my dad. But I'm more talkative than my dad, like my mom. Like I could be like the life of the party, like my mom. My dad's more like chill, so I can be both.
Yeah.
But my mom is definitely nothing like my dad's nothing like my mom. But I'm like both of them a lot. It's weird.
How old were you when you were doing the Five Little Princess?
That was like right when I moved to LA. I think I was 12. That's about when I started singing lessons too, was that group. Because we were doing them together.
Yeah.
But I was rapping in that group mainly, not singing.
Was that your first time rapping?
Yeah, it was my, well, I mean, I would rap around the house, but that was like my first time on stage. That was my first time rapping. That was my first time in a recording studio.
What was it like going from like focusing a lot of your attention to dance to all of a sudden like going to studio, like working on music?
Well, it kind of just happened naturally with me. It was like, okay, on to the next, on to the next. I need to be working, I need to be trying new things. I started going to the studio more and more, finding my sound, and that's like where I'm at now. And
was it difficult for you to leave, kind of like, did your whole family move here or just?
So, it was pretty hard to leave, but it was just like, it needed to happen because I would have stayed there. Nothing would have happened. I wouldn't have grown as a person, as a artist, nothing. Like, I don't know, I kind of just would have stayed the same. But my mom moved out here with me to California. My dad still lives in Michigan, but he's actually out here right now.
Oh, nice.
But my little brother is with my dad in Michigan. And everyone's like, oh, like divorce? So like, no, he's a farmer, so he can't live here. Like, his whole job is there, so he can't move. And then my little brother just likes being a little, like, dirty kid in the mud, so he doesn't want to move to LA.
What was the turning point that you decided to focus more and more into music and actually put stuff out?
Well, it was just like my fans liked the first time I did it, so I wanted to do it more for them and put out more content. So it was, okay, so I saw like the fans loving it, so I wanted to do it more and more, so I started doing it more. And then I wanted to do a project, I wanted to release more, so it kind of just happens when you're in this industry. Like, you always just keep moving to the next and moving to the next thing.
But what clicked to you to start doing the dance covers along with the singing?
So I was rapping in the kitchen to a song, and my mom noticed me, so she was like, why don't we like get you in the studio? Like, and I didn't even like know what the studio was back then. Like, I had no idea. My mom, we just knew one producer because of a music video I had danced on. So we hit him up. I went in the studio, and then I always just incorporate dance into anything I do, so I wanted to incorporate it into that. And no one was really doing that, rapping and dancing. It was cool, and people liked it a lot.
Is it your first time for your mom, like, being in the industry and like learning everything? You guys are both like learning together then, right?
Yeah, we're learning together. Yeah. But obviously she knows more than me, and I would say she helped me a lot in the transition from singing, from dancing to rapping, and then rapping to singing, because I would have never took it upon myself to get in the studio and record a song. That was because of her, so that was really cool.
And then how are you able to meet more and more people in music and make your songs?
Well, with social media nowadays, if I like someone's remix or someone's sound or a producer, then I'll DM them. Like I'll start the conversation, or they'll come to me from DMs. So it's super easy to get in contact with people nowadays like that. Like it was never like that. So it's like meeting new people online is so much easier and more fun too. You get to like see their online personality and then meet them in person, and it's cool to meet people that you were talking to online.
Yeah. Were the sessions earlier on difficult for you because you're sharing like your songwriting, right? And that's like a lot of stuff like your personal life that you write about.
Yeah, when you are doing something new, it's harder to get into writing if you weren't writing your whole life, because I was never writing poetry or anything like that. I was never into like writing class in school or anything like that. Like I don't know, like it was even just like my handwriting I didn't want to write because my handwriting just sucks. So basically it's more, when I'm opening up to somebody in the studio and I get to meet them more and more, they get to know who I am, and I get comfortable with them, it's easier for me to talk about my life and my feelings and my hard times and my good times even. Like I'm working on opening up.
Are you signed with a music label now?
I am not right now, but it's like, it's fun that way, because like, you know, you get to do what you want, release when I want. So it's nice to right now I get to do what I want until one day I can't. So I'm just using all this time right now to do what I want.
Are you actively looking for one, or you just kind of want to just put stuff out yourself and just per single?
Yeah, I'm necessarily looking for a partner, like someone who is like a creative director almost, and an A&R would be nice. So it's like, I mean, I'm looking, but it's like the right thing will just fall into place perfectly.
How did you meet Reload Agency? Oh, management.
Reload Management, yeah. He found me online at when he was working at another management, and he found me online from the Banshee cover, and I got into a meeting, signed with him, and we've been working together for 4 or 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you also make your own music, like with Pro Tools?
So I've been wanting to learn how to do that.
That's
but
so cool.
I know.
I read that, I'm like, oh, I have to ask you about that. It's so cool.
I know. I've been in every session where people make the beats. Like, it's so cool and interesting, but it's like, that's a whole career. Like, if you learn how to do that, you're a producer. Like, it's so hard for singers to start that because it's another whole job on top of it. But it's really cool, and artists can put input into it, but it's really hard to produce your own songs and record them, because like literally people train years and years to become a producer. It's just like you train years and years to become a singer, so it's like another thing on top of it that's really hard to do.
How did the song with Borges come about?
So that song was really crazy how it came about, because his team found me and my manager, reached out through email, and then they were like, hey, we have this song we want Jordyn to audition for. So basically, me and 2 other artists recorded the song, and they picked who's they liked the best. So, and the people were, I'm talking like A-list people. Like, I have no idea how I got chosen, but like, I'm so happy about it because I've been working really hard, and I feel like I deserved it. So, I recorded the song, and then they approved me for the song. So then I had to go in again with Borges, and I re-recorded it with him in the room, and now it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, so exciting. What's the inspiration behind it?
Well, how I read the lyrics and how I like interpreted it into my own life was saying, like, basically being a girl's all perfect for you and treating you so good, and you're kind of just like thinking that it's normal and, you know, getting comfortable with it, and then when you want to break up with her and you come crawling back and you see what you had before when it's too late, you know, when I feel like that always happens with guys. So that's kind of what happens is, like, I thought I knew ya, why'd you go and switch on me? When the life gets old and the nights get cold, gonna wish you didn't leave. Like, literally the lyrics is all about you gonna wish you didn't leave. Like, sucks to suck, boy, you lost it, like you could've had it. Basically that.
What are the inspirations for your music videos?
It's just, I give an aesthetic and a mood board, and they will transform my couple pictures into a huge idea. But now with my upcoming music videos, I'm way more hands-on, and in every single conversation, making my actual vision when I first record the song come to life. It's really cool. Like directing is something I'm getting into right now. Yeah.
What do you think you wish you told yourself, like getting into the industry, or advice for people who are starting out?
I don't really know what I would tell myself, because I kind of feel like I'm really happy with how I did it, and I didn't run into fake people or anything like that. But one thing I would tell people who are trying to get into the industry is to not let hate get to you. And that's like the main thing.
And how do you deal with, like how you're saying, like moving to LA and like fake people and all that? Yeah.
Well, I just stuck with the group I met when I first came out here, when I had like less than 1 million followers, because it's like those people aren't going to use you, because I've known them for 5 years. They knew me. They were my best friends when I was like nothing, and now they're still with me, and I didn't try to like meet new friends and all that, because I know that my friends that I have are true friends. Yeah.
How has the style of your songs changed over time, and like where do you see it?
Well, I went from rap to pop.
Yeah.
that's the easiest way I could explain it.
How about even the lyrics, or what do you talk about?
Well, I mean, I've grown up, so I speak a little more grown now, and I've been through relationships, breakups, love, hate, like true self, loving myself, growing up, and confidence and all that. So all of these aspects I think about when I'm writing a song.
Is it ever difficult for you, like balancing what you share online and what you keep personally, like relationships or family?
See, it would be, but I'm such an open person that I have no problem with it. And I have to be like that, because I can't hide anything from my fans. They'll either find out or be mad at me, and it's like I inspire people to be themselves, and if I'm hiding things and not being myself, then that's fake.
How has your relationship with your parents grown over time?
Well, I've always been super close to my parents. I mean, my mom lives with me still. I'm an 18-year-old girl that could just be like, Mom, get out of my life, you know, but I keep my family close, and even closer, like since I've turned like 18, and like a year we've gotten super close, and I'm glad that, like, it's kind of like a relationship. Like, I feel like a lot of kids, you know, just like, oh, I'm too cool for my mom and dad and all this stuff, and then if something happened, then you'd realize what you had, like, before when it's too late. And like, I just feel like you gotta tell people who you love when you love them, and you gotta be nice to them when you see them. You have to appreciate them, respect them. They've gone through a lot for you. They've, like, financially, everything, like support-wise, everything. So you always got to never push them aside.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far in your life?
I really haven't like had a lot of challenges. Like, I don't really know how to answer that, because like everything that I do is a challenge, but it's because I made it a challenge.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to.
That.
So yeah.
What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me? I would say respect, trust. When all of your feelings and your love and all of those, when everything around the word love are around one person. That's what love means to me. That's when I know that you love someone. Is when all of your sadness, happiness, heartbreak, everything, not like heartbreak, but I mean like if you've been through a heartbreak and you know that person will never do that to you, then that's like what love is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
Ooh, I would say positivity, love, and my music.
Yeah, I love that. This is so awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.